With all of the energy we have had in Aries with this eclipse, Mercury, Venus, the North Node, Chiron, we are bringing some balance to the heat with a Libra full moon, helping us to restore love, harmony, and ease in our relationships. Greetings, alchemists. Welcome back to my channel, Hidden Alchemy by Sade. My name is Sade. If it is your first time, welcome. And if not, welcome back. It is truly an honor and a pleasure to create these videos and to just inform the public of what is going on in the stars, because as above, so below. So for today's video, we are diving into the full moon that we have in the sign of Libra. And if you hadn't had an opportunity to look at my April astrology before this video, feel free to check it out just so you have an understanding of what the energy is supporting this full moon. I like to dive into not only what the full moon is, but what is the energy around this full moon and supporting this full moon. So let's go ahead and dive into it. If it's your first time learning about a full moons are basically when the sun and the moon are in two opposite signs. And in this case, the sun is in Aries and the moon is in Libra. And the full moon is literally highlighting an area of our life that we either need to restore, we need to let go of, or if it's something we've been working on, it has come to a culmination and we can really reap the harvest and the benefit of this energy. Now, the reason why this full moon is really beautiful and important is because this is the first full moon that we are having in the sign of Libra without it being in a south node placement. Okay, if you remember, for the past 18 months, we have been dealing with the North Node in Aries, South Node in Libra, and we had our final Aries eclipse at the end of March before Neptune moved into Aries. So we have been dealing with the energy of independence, of self-reliance, of sovereignty, and most importantly, realizing where we have been codependent in an area of our life. Libra rules how we relate to people, places, and things. It's not just about romance or intimate relationships, but it's really how we relate to our life. What is your relationship like with your life? And with the North Node being in the sign of Aries, we all as a collective had to work on where we needed more independence, where we needed more sovereignty, where we needed to be more responsible for ourselves so that we can healthily have relationships. Because Libra is an air sign. So air is about detachment, right? So when we are not showing up in the way that we need to for ourselves, we can start to blur those lines in our relationship of people's roles. And so this full moon is the first full moon where we're not in an eclipse energy, and we can finally see where I need to start a new path of relationships. So many bridges in the true, and especially in true Aries fashion, so many bridges have ended. So many things have ended. A lot of us, especially talking with my clients and then even just realizing in my own life, so many relationships have ended, especially if they were not in alignment and if they were imbalanced. So now with this full moon, we're dealing with Libran Venus energy of harmony, of ease, of love, of self-worth, and most importantly, fairness. What I love about Libra and what I've learned so much from this South Node in Libra for these past 18 months is the importance of fairness. A lot of times it's not about how we feel about what we want to do, but about what is right and what is fair. And when we can look at things from an objective standpoint, because Libra is air, detachment, from an intellectual standpoint, that's when we can really have true harmony and balance in our relationships, where there are boundaries and where there are fairness and where there is fairness involved. So because we have this full moon, it's opposing all of this Aries energy. What do I mean by that? The sun is in Aries. We have Chiron in Aries. We just finished up the final solar eclipse in Aries. We got Neptune now in Aries. And then we have Mercury and Venus making its way back into Aries. So a lot of this energy is in opposition to the self, but that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Opposition doesn't mean that it has to be bad or good, or that it has to be something that is defeating. But it's all about where is one needed over the other. And the best two signs to work with this is truly Aries and Libra, because Libra is the only sign that is an inanimate object signifying balance. So all of this is in opposition to Aries, where we have had to focus on, who am I? What is my self-identity? And now that I have taken the time to define, and I'm still defining, and I'm still nourishing, and I'm still breaking these things down, how do I want my life to now be? How do I want to relate to my life now? And the beautiful thing about this full moon in Libra is we also have Venus stationing direct the same day in the sign of Pisces. Why is that important? Well, Venus in Pisces, Venus is exalted in Pisces. Venus loves Pisces because Pisces is truly understanding the need for compassion, for forgiveness, and for selflessness when it comes to understanding the suffering of others. And because Venus is stationing direct in Pisces under a sun in Aries, we first have to have compassion for the suffering of ourselves. We have to forgive ourselves for things that we've done when we really didn't know ourselves, when we didn't value ourselves, right? Venus, we didn't value ourselves, we didn't know ourselves, we didn't trust ourselves, we didn't honor ourselves. So we have to extend that compassion to self, that forgiveness to self, that unconditional love, so that we can truly show up in our relationships from a balanced place of seeing people for their humanness, and from there being able to make a conscious judgment of how that relationship needs to be, what boundaries need to be set in place, not for the relationship to not work, but for the relationship to work. So Venus is supporting this full moon energy in the sign of Pisces of, where can we soften with ourselves? And then where can we soften in our relationships? The South Node is in Virgo right now. So where are we being a little bit too critical? And where might we need to see things from many perspectives and to see from the heart? So that is why this full moon is really a beautiful time right now, because we are finally out of that Aries eclipse energy. We've done the work in our Libra section of the chart of getting rid of unhealthy habits of how we relate. And now we can truly show up in our relationship with ourselves first, and then attract that outside of ourselves, because Libra is all about attraction. Venus is about what we attract. You attract and accept, right? Because you can attract many things, but you attract and accept who you are, where you are. So when you're working on yourself, you can attract better and then accept that because you feel worthy of that. But that has to first come from forgiveness, compassion, and understanding. So that is what we are working with this full moon in Libra as we move more into the spring season. Again, if you have not checked out my April astrology video, go ahead and check that out so you can understand what the rest of the astrology is giving for the month of April to support this full moon energy. If you would like to see where this full moon is affecting you in your chart, or how you can make the most out of this energy, always feel free to send me an email at info@hiddenalchemybysade.com. We can set up your reading, and we can set up a coaching session if you just need a little bit more guidance on how can I start to apply practical tools in my life to better harness a certain aspect of my chart. But other than that, so much love, community, and I will see you for our next video.